Are you tired of burning, bloating, and popping pills that don't even fix the problem? I had reflux for years until I finally figured out how to actually fix my stomach acid naturally, and now I'm giving you the 4 steps that changed everything. Fast, simple, and straight to the root. So I was experimenting with everything, adding more greens into my diet, more water, even supplements, but through this all, I was still bloated and heavy after my meals. And then I tried cutting out oils just to see. And within days after cutting out those oils, my digestion was so much lighter and my food stopped sitting and everything just started moving and flowing again. And that's when I knew oil was weakening my stomach acid. You see, our digestion was never designed to handle these processed oils, okay? These aren't natural fats. They're stripped, they're concentrated, and totally foreign to the body, okay? There's nothing out in nature that comes close to that level of fat density as in oils, okay? So when we eat them, our stomach actually has to overcompensate, pumping out more and more stomach acid just to try and break it down. And over time, this constant strain weakens your stomach acid instead of strengthening it. You see, our digestion was never designed to handle these processed oils, okay? These aren't natural fats. They're stripped, they're concentrated, and totally foreign to our bodies, okay? There's nothing out in nature that comes close to that level of fat density in oils. So when we eat them, our stomach has to overcompensate, pumping out more and more acid just to try and break these oils down, okay? They're very dense. And over time, that constant strain actually weakens your stomach acid instead of strengthening it. And this is why food starts to sit and ferment and cause bloating in us. So if you know your stomach acid is low and you're tired of feeling bloated and dealing with indigestion after meals, I've got a go-to fix that works every time. It's my oil-free food swap guide, a simple cheat sheet to replace the exact foods that are weakening your stomach acid with foods that rebalance and strengthen your stomach acid. You can grab it for free below. So not long after I cut out the oils, I started reading the ingredient list on packaged foods that I thought were healthy, even vegan ones. And I was so shocked of how many gums, preservatives, and fillers were in everything. Me and you were designed in nature, okay? Meaning your digestion was designed for nature and nothing else. So these ingredients that we're eating daily, like maltodextrin, cornstarch, sodium benzoate, guar gum, xanthan gum, show up in almost every frozen and packaged food. But here's the thing, your body does not recognize these as real food, okay? It literally has no idea how to digest them. They are very dense and man-made and require way more stomach acid than any natural food ever would. And when your body is forced to overproduce its acid for years just to handle these fake ingredients, that constant overload burns it out. And this is how your stomach acid ends up weak in the first place and your digestion starts to fall apart. So step 2, you want to start phasing out these packaged, ready to eat, microwavable, and frozen meals and start checking your labels for everything that's not found in nature. And instead replace these foods with raw, fresh fruits and vegetables and maybe some nuts and seeds. These are the only foods that contain natural digestive enzymes that actually strengthen your stomach acid and rebalance it and help break down this undigested waste from these fillers and gums that has been sitting in your inside of you and weakening your stomach acid this whole time. But here's what most people miss. Even if you're eating more real foods, if you're doing this one thing during your meals, it can actually dilute all that progress and weaken your stomach acid even more. It was something that I thought was healthy until I realized it was actually keeping my digestion stuck. So step 3 is to stop drinking with or right after your meals. This actually dilutes your stomach acid, and we need strong stomach acid to be able to break down our foods, okay? So instead of drinking during your meals and right after your meals, you want to instead eat your hydration with your meals. And what I mean by that is to start pairing your cooked food meals with non-sweet fruits like cucumber slices, celery sticks, bell pepper slices, and raw leafy greens. This is not going to dilute your stomach acid, and this is going to provide your stomach with digestive enzymes because they're natural in their whole forms and fresh. So these have digestive enzymes that are going to help your stomach um, break down this cooked food, because cooked food has no enzymes in it. Once you put nature in and cook it in a man-made oven or fryer or boil it, boil down or bake down a bell pepper or a zucchini, you're killing the digestive enzymes out of the food. And enzymes are responsible for partnering up with your stomach acid to break the food down. Now, a lot of us are just eating mostly cooked food. We're not having a lot of digestive enzymes in our food, and this is causing our stomach acid to be weak, causing our stomach acid to overcompensate. And we need those digestive enzymes and some hydration, because the reason we even feel the need to drink with and right after our cooked meals is because cooked food is very dehydrating, okay? We are 60 to 70% water-based beings, so our food should be about the same. And once we cook the food, it's very dehydrating, okay? So when we're drinking that water with our food, we're diluting our stomach acid. So instead, we want to add those non-sweet, hydrating, enzyme-rich foods like the cucumber, celery, bell pepper, leafy greens. Eat it with your cooked meal. This is going to help your stomach break it down so none of it turns into undigested waste, because when we have undigested waste, this ferments and turns into gas, and this is when we get heartburn and acid reflux and bloating. Now, I used to break my fast every morning with avocado toast, oatmeal, maybe some healthy cereal, okay, rice cakes, things like this. But I noticed shortly after I would become bloated and heavy, and I didn't agree with this. I didn't align with already feeling fatigued and bloated after my first meal of the day. So I took a step back and realized, I need something more fresh and more hydrating in the morning. So I cut out all the avocado toast and the oatmeal in the mornings, and I started replacing it with fresh fruit, okay? And before the fresh fruit, I would break my fast with some hot water or warm water, caffeine-free herbal tea. Sometimes I would just do plain distilled warm or hot water. And what this did was, what hot water does on an empty stomach is it breaks down any undigested waste sitting in your colon that's causing us to be backed up and bloated and having heartburn. The hot water is very, very easy for your body to digest. It's already digested. It doesn't need to use any energy to heat it up to your body's internal body temperature, which is about 97, 98 degrees. When we drink cold water, our body actually has to use energy, digestive energy, that slows it down to heat it up to our body's temperature. It takes about an hour before you're actually getting that hydration to your cells. And so by switching from these denser, dry meals like the oatmeal and toast that have no enzymes in it, by providing my body with the hot water and then following it with fresh, juicy fruit in the morning, this is providing my body hydration and enzymes to help it lubricate and break down any undigested waste, maybe from last night's dinner or last night's meal. And so this was a game changer for me. So after every breakfast, my bowels were moving. I started pooping after my breakfast. Whereas before, when I was eating the toast and oatmeal, I wouldn't poop for hours after. But that fresh fruit, that aliveness, that hydration, the enzymes hitting my system first thing before anything else prevents me from just piling more dry, enzymeless food in the morning on top of the already undigested waste sitting there causing me bloating and acid reflux. So the fresh fruit is going to help lubricate and break down with the enzymes and the hydration any undigested waste instead of piling more dehydration on top. And bonus tip is just to simply add more fresh raw living foods into your diet because they're enzyme rich and hydrating. And this is going to strengthen and rebalance your stomach acid by giving your body more enzymes consistently. The reason we have weak stomach acid in the first place because if you're out in the Western world, 99% of our diet is cooked. It's enzymeless, it's dehydrated. So our body has a super hard time breaking this down. And all this food requires an excess, unnatural amount of stomach acid to break them down. And a lot of the times it doesn't fully break it down. And that is why we're dealing with, bloating and fermenting and acid reflux, heartburn, and these symptoms. So I highly recommend you just check out some raw vegan recipes. Type in your favorite meal and make a raw vegan version of it, oil free, because it's very hydrating and enzyme rich for your body. And this is going to help lubricate and break down any undigested waste and strengthen your stomach acid and help your stomach acid break down food. So quick recap, step one is to eliminate all oils, even the healthy oils, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil. These are still highly concentrated, highly processed overloads of fat that your digestion was not built to recognize, let alone digest. And there's no hydration and enzymes in it. And me and you both know that water and oil does not mix. And we are water-based beings. So oil is just very, very dense and requires so much stomach acid to break down, weakening our stomach acid. So eliminate all those oils and reap the benefits within days. And step two is to wean off of the densities and the complexities, meaning the processed and packaged box bag foods, because a lot of them are just filled with fillers and additives and gums and preservatives and the oils that your body just doesn't recognize. It has a hard time breaking these things down. They also require a high unnatural amount of stomach acid to break down, and this is weakening our stomach acid. And start replacing these ready to eat packaged processed foods with foods that you create at home, oil free, with whole plants and as much fresh fruit and vegetables as possible. And step three is to stop drinking during or right after your meals, because this is diluting your stomach acid, and we need strong stomach acid to break down our food. And instead, replace the water or whatever beverage with hydrating non-sweet fruits like cucumber slices, celery sticks, bell pepper slices, leafy greens. Pair these with your cooked meals to provide your body with that hydration and some enzymes to help break it down. And the reason I say non-sweet is because you don't want to pair sweet fruit with anything. Sweet fruit is best digested on an empty stomach and just by itself and not paired with any fats or cooked food. And step four is to swap your breakfast out with hot or warm water, and follow that with fresh fruit, okay? Fresh juicy fruit, even bananas will work. Banana smoothies, melons, okay? Anything like that. And just to add more raw, fresh, living foods into your diet, and just take a step back and realize these are the foods that your body was designed to recognize and digest, okay? They have these digestive enzymes for our digestion to break these foods down properly and not create any undigested waste. This is a return back home to our origin, our nature, okay? We are nature. We gotta eat natural. We gotta have whole plants into our diet. The reason we experience all these symptoms we do today is because at some point in human history, we got scared off the path of humanity, of nature, and into this man-made land with all these lab-made, factory-made ingredients and chemicals and gums and fillers that our stomach was not designed to digest, okay? We can't be fooled for all these, colorful and healthy labeled, breads and gluten-free crackers, all this stuff. Your body, it doesn't matter if it's gluten-free, vegan, okay? These packaged box goods none of this is in nature, okay? And if it is, they're taking nature and dehydrating it and processing it and putting it together with other fillers and stuff like that Your body was not designed for that. It was designed for living raw, hydrating, fresh foods. So I hope you guys found massive value in this video. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and I will make a video answering it if it's big enough, or I'll shoot your response, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy healing, family. Cheers.